Well, hello and welcome to Anfield, where I'm afraid to say, folks, it is 4 defeats in a row for Liverpool. It is 4 points off the top of the table for Liverpool, and all of a sudden, Manchester United are within touching distance of Liverpool in the Premier League table. That sentence is something that seemed inconceivable a month ago, but it felt rather predictable this morning. And in the last couple of weeks, because we've all seen Liverpool's performances this season. We all saw the defeat at Crystal Palace, the defeat at Galatasaray, the defeat at Chelsea. I was at all 3 of those games, and from about 50 seconds in, it felt rather predictable. That was obviously helped by the fact that United took an early lead, but Liverpool never really got going. They had chances to equalise, and of course they did indeed equalise. And then Harry Maguire went down the other end and scored. But even if Liverpool had won today, even if they had come back and won 2-1, even if they had equalised again and won 3-2 or drew 2-2, I would have still come on here and said that was a terrible performance. It was a disjointed performance. It was a typical post-international break performance. But you say that, and United, yes, I think they were quite poor overall, but if you can give them credit for anything, they did look quite organised defensively. Maguire, De Ligt, played okay. We're not here to talk about them, so we won't dwell on that too much. United did play, though, like what they are, a bottom-half team, and they will probably finish mid-table again this season, but they did play like you'd expect a Brentford to play, and we'll come on to Brentford later because that is who Liverpool play next week, of course. They came and they just frustrated Liverpool, and Liverpool just didn't have the answers. Mo Salah missed that chance down there. Somehow scooped it wide. Don't know how he did that. Cody Gakpo hit the post twice. Alexander Isak missed that one-on-one in the first half. There was plenty of chances for Liverpool to score more than they did and win the game and draw the game, whatever. But every chance just seemed like it was almost like a bit of a free-for-all. It seemed like it was being... It wasn't, I don't know, the whole organised chaos of the Jurgen Klopp era. This was just chaos. Defensively and offensively, Liverpool just didn't, I don't know, I can't put my finger on what's missing at the moment, but it's just something isn't right. And as I said a minute ago, if they had gone on to win this game, I would have said the same. Something just isn't right. Obviously, you sugarcoat everything when you win a game. And I think that Liverpool were sugarcoating things at the first, however many games it was, 7 was it, to start the season, that they won. Bournemouth, Friday night, could have easily drawn that game. Newcastle, Arsenal, the list goes on. I've lost count. Burnley, who else was there? There was multiple games that Liverpool could have drawn and they ended up winning. Atletico Madrid, okay, Everton was a bit different, but Everton could have easily come back into that. It was a narrow game. And the cracks were starting to appear, but it didn't really matter because they were winning, and it was sort of like, well, that's points on the board are better than performances at this stage of the season. And how important do those wins look now? Because Liverpool are off the pace at the top of the Premier League. Arsenal have got a favourable fixture list in the coming weeks. Liverpool go to Brentford away next week, which is, Brentford are not as good as they were under Thomas Frank. Obviously, they haven't played this week and they play tomorrow night against West Ham, so we'll see how they do there. But I always remember a quote, I can't remember who said it, it was either Pep or Klopp or someone described going to Brentford as like going to the dentist and, having to open your mouth and someone going rooting around in there. It's not comfortable. It's never going to be easy. What was it? Was it a last-minute winner at Brentford last season? Darwin Núñez off the bench, I seem to remember. It's never easy. I don't want to scare you guys, but that is what is awaiting. Obviously, in between, then there's Eintracht Frankfurt away, which should be back to winning ways for Liverpool. Not sure how Frankfurt have got on this weekend. I know they got smashed by Bayern, smashed by, I think, Atletico in the last 2 games for the international break. But they should get back to winning ways there. There's so many questions that need to be answered because the defence is all over the place, especially in the first half for Liverpool today. Milos Kerkez just does not look like a £45 million player. He does not look like a Liverpool player. He does not look like the player that Liverpool bought from Bournemouth. Okay, the sample size is small, and we will give him the credit in the bank and the balance. What's the word? We will give him the benefit of the doubt because he is a good player. I'm sure he is. But he just looks so shaky this season. Virgil van Dijk, the best defender in the world by some distance, has looked way off his best. I think that is fair to say. Ibrahim Konate, we've gone through that many times, we don't need to do it again. All three of them, the whole back four, just looked way off it today. The midfield just didn't seem to exist. They were being played through so easy. The attack was toothless, I think is the best word to describe it. Why wasn't Hugo Ekitike playing? That is a question that I would like answering, because Ekitike is Liverpool's top scorer this season and he's looked very dangerous when he has played. But he's been starting on the bench the last 2 games and I don't really understand that, because, you know, Alexander Isak, yes, it will all click together soon, I'm sure it will. Same Florian Wirtz, by the way. But Alexander Isak is way off the pace at the moment. He doesn't look fully fit, and I think you can say the same here today. Obviously, would I be saying that if he put that one in the first half past the United keeper, Lamans, who had a good game, by the way? Would I be saying the same? Probably not, but that's how it works in football. He didn't put that chance away, still not scored in the Premier League for Liverpool. I think you'd want him to, maybe Wednesday is a good chance for him to get a goal on his record books, but, you know, given his fitness issues, you'd probably expect Ekitike to play on Wednesday. We're not really here to talk about Wednesday, but there's a lot of players who need that game as a chance to bounce back, and, you know, Frankfurt are no mugs, of course not. There's no easy game in the Champions League, but it is the sort of game that Liverpool have to be putting to bed and winning. It's 4 defeats in a row. I've said in the last couple of defeats, I've said, is it time for panic? I've said no. When does a blip become a crisis? I've said not yet. But it's 4 defeats, and that just seemed absolutely mad if you said that a month ago, or you compare last season's team to this current rendition of Liverpool. They're miles off it, and there's a lot of problems. We've been through all the problems before. I think there's just a whole mountain of issues for Liverpool at the moment, and it'll be interesting to see what Arne Slot says when maybe not now in this post-match press conference, but on Tuesday before Eintracht Frankfurt, when he's had time to think about it all. He's had 2 weeks. He's been in Dubai, I think, on holiday. He looked very tanned. He must have been mulling it all over. He's going to have another lot of thinking today. There's questions being asked of Arne Slot. I don't think he's exempt from criticism. Of course he's not. Has he got his starting 11 spot on this season? I disagree with some of his decisions. But he's still a man. He will get Liverpool out of this crisis. Don't worry, guys. And actually, I use the word crisis. It's not a crisis yet. It's a blip. Let's say it's a major blip because it's 4 games. It's not a mini blip anymore. It's a big blip. It's not a crisis yet. They're only 4 points off the top. You know, that means there's only 2 games away from, you know, being top again. But if they lost again next Saturday, for example, or they lose the next Premier League game after that, it's Brentford away, then it's Villa at home, and then it's City away. Villa have beaten Spurs today. City on a very good run. Haaland in the form of his career, maybe. None of those games are easy. It doesn't get any easier in this league. Liverpool have to put it right. They have to put it right quick. I think Slot will get it right, but he's got to do it quick, or more people will start to get angry at him and frustrated at the squad, really, because certain players are not performing. Salah, Wirtz, Isak, let's not single people out, but these are players, none of them have been at the best level, none of the defence have been at the best level. There's a lot of problems to solve. You hear about them all first on this YouTube channel. Please like, please subscribe. See you again soon. Adios.